Welcome to the Monday webinar. We archive this webinar for you guys if you want to review it, and also for those who aren't present. Purpose is to give you kind of a heads up what's going to go on, what's happening. You know, this is a very uncertain time of the election tomorrow. We have no idea who's going to win. The odds say Obama, but you know, the storm has really hurt the voting, people getting to vote, being able to reach the voting booths. So that's going to hurt Obama. Yeah, he looked like commander-in-chief, and he helped out, and he was great, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's go here. The market's acting weird, and I'll tell you, a lot of times I like to put together a scenario of what's going to happen going forward. And it's really useless. Oh, wait, before we do that, do you want to ask a question? We've got 2 tickets to, this is for Denver, people who are in the Denver, Boulder area, Fort Collins if you like, but Colorado. And we're doing, we're giving away free tickets to the Denver International Wine Festival, which is going to be amazing. Top chefs, top wines, and they're bringing it together, and you guys get to taste the food, the wines. It's going to be magical on the 38th floor at whatever.
It is at the Grand Hyatt in Denver.
The Grand Hyatt. Okay, so here's the Fox's question.
So yeah, we just want to get them away, particularly to members. That'd be fabulous.
You guys better get this one too. And how do they do it? Do they call us?
No, they can just say it on the webinar. So of course, you know, the presidential election is tomorrow. So let's take a look at the 10 best performing stocks since the last time we picked a president. So that would be since 2008. They're not obscure. They're pretty well known. The top one increased over 1,000% since 2008. And if you can name one of them on the list, you can get 2 free tickets for $100 value. So just let us know.
Did you guys hear the Fox, by the way? I don't even know if they heard you. Did you guys hear the Fox? No, they didn't hear.
Why not? Oh, that's right. The mic's not working. Okay, you.
Okay, so here's the question. If you answer the question correctly, you get 2 tickets. Under Obama's watch, from 2008 to today, from the last election to this election, the top 10 performers in the S&P 500.
Name one.
Name one.
And there's multiple, so many, there's multiple winners. You'll just call me.
We can have more than one winner? How many winners? How many tickets? Yeah, save some for tomorrow.
Yeah, we can give away
4?
3 sets of tickets.
Wow.
2 sets of tickets.
Yeah, 2 sets. No. Yeah, 2 sets. All right, 2 sets of tickets. Okay, Susie says Apple, Google.
Well, tell her Apple.
Apple's already taken.
But guess again.
Guess again.
Isn't she going Friday night, though? We want to.
Susie, are you going Friday night? No.
Oh, okay. Tell her to guess again.
Guess again.
These guys would know. They're well-known companies across a variety of sectors.
Susie says Google. No, we said no, remember? No app. I mean, Apple, yes, Google, no. And that surprised me.
Here,
10 best performers.
I'm going to give you guys a hint, which I don't put on the radio. It's where you shop for food. It's where you buy a car. It's what kind of car you drive. It's where you eat fast food. And maybe it builds your house. That's the hints I'm going to give.
Whole Foods. Then the baby.
Whole Foods is up 873%.
In 4 years?
Since November 3rd, 2008.
Whole Foods up 800%, folks. Okay, Linda, call the office.
Tomorrow, I think she might have to pick them up if I can't get them.
Call the office tomorrow, 303-442-6075. Wow, that's going to be fun. Thursday night. You're going to love it.
Tell them another one is a fast food restaurant.
Wait, Susie's back.
Okay, Susie, come on.
Home Depot. Ah, Susie, you got great companies, but isn't that weird that they're not the big winners? Whole Foods, yeah. Oh, I know one. But I'm not saying.
No, don't you be.
I won't. McDonald's.
No.
Poor Susie. Let's just give it to Susie.
No, listen,
Come on.
I want to help you.
Give it.
Susie, it's a fast food place that was actually started by someone who went to University of Colorado. Yes, there you go, babe. Call the office tomorrow. You got the other two. It is Chipotle, and let me just tell you the details real quick, just so that you know. Chipotle is up 436% since November 3rd, 2008.
That's amazing. All right, contest over. But that for today. But that was incredible. Susie, persistence pays off. I'm happy for you. Very good. All right, let's go back to what we're all here for, the webinar. Okay, here's the S&P 500. We were up 281 today. So look at this pattern. Okay, now first off, when you get a tail like this, you normally go the opposite. So I expect tomorrow the market will rally into the election. But what happened was we went down through the 50, we went sideways, we actually tried to get back above the 50 on Friday, failed, and here we are. So this is a very important support level, but this could just be a wave 3. 1, 2, 3. If that's the case, we're going down to 1380. Okay, that's one possible scenario. Another possible scenario is we're consolidating and we're going to rocket through here and have a big rally up to this 1460, 1470 level. So that's another possibility. So, you know, we talk about being in cash, but I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, we might rally. Who knows what's going to happen? So I like being hedged, but I also like being long. All right, let's talk about the dollar, because normally the dollar is up is bad for the market. Now, first off, this could be a candlestick sell signal. It's a doji, but we had a gap to the 50, gap here, doji. My goal would be up in here once you get through the 50. But today's doji means potential loss or change in sentiment, loss of power, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. But if the dollar goes up, markets can't rally, and gold and silver are going to have a hard time if the dollar continues higher. So let's see what happens with that. Speaking of gold and silver, very weird today, because gold was up like $9, yet the 3-to-1 short gold miners, Nugget, excuse me, not Nugget, Nugget's long. The 3-to-1 short gold miners, Dust, went through the 50-day on an open candle today. That's a bullish pattern. So gold's down, this goes up. I got to tell you, if you look at SLV, the silver ETF, it's still, I don't care that it was up today, it's still on a sell signal. And if it's a wave count, we went from 34 down to 31. We'll go 31 to 28. So this is where you're going to come down to on SLV. But look, we got an 80x sell, and strength of trend is actually moving up. We got a MACD sell. Candle through the 50. This is a really big sell signal. So I don't know, the 21 crossed the 50 today. If that 50 rolls over, SLV's in trouble. So gold and silver look to me like they're vulnerable here. We'll see if that plays out. All right, I had a question, and again, if you guys have questions, just put them in the question box. Wiz, I want to ask you about SCCO and the dividend. And then he was saying, well, let's put up the chart. SCCO is a copper play, Southern Copper. I think they have mines in Peru and Chile, and it pulled back yesterday, Friday, and today, but it was only down 3 cents today. the question is, how much are they paying? And here it says 28.5%. If I go to Yahoo, let me go to Yahoo real quick here and see what they say the dividend is. Let me bring it over here so you guys can see me doing this. Oops. Okay, so now I gotta move these guys that you can't see. Now we want to look at the key statistics. Market cap, enterprise value, trailing PE, that's low. Forward PE, whoops. Big ratio is a little high. All right, we don't care about that. So now we have to look for the dividend. Quarterly earnings growth, diluted net income, gross profit. Has anyone ever seen the dividend here? Oh, here, dividend date, November 20th. And ex-dividend date, November 6th. So ex-dividend date, if you buy the stock, this says 28.5%. But I don't, that's too high. Maybe they are, who knows? Okay, ex-dividend date's tomorrow. So tomorrow's the ex date, which you need to be in the day before, not the day of, right? By selling today and not tomorrow, you will sell. Here's how it works with the ex-dividend date. The reason it's called ex-dividend is on that day and days after, it trades ex-dividend without the dividend. So if you buy tomorrow on ex-dividend date, you're getting the lower price, but you're not getting the dividend. They reduce the price of the stock by the amount of the dividend. So let's say yesterday or today you decide to buy it to get the dividend. Tomorrow you will be a stockholder of record as of the ex-dividend date, and therefore you are entitled to the dividend. But they're going to reduce the price of the stock by the amount of the dividend. And you're going to pay taxes on that. I think it's smarter to wait for the ex-dividend date, buy the stock cheaper, and you won't pay taxes on that differential. Anyway, that's the ex-dividend date. If someone could do some research on this one, I'm not sure. I can't believe they pay so much. You know? All right. I still like the chart, but you're probably looking at one of these things. Pull back into support, and then we go higher. Long term, this stock's a big winner, big winner. But, you know, I'm a trader, so sometimes, look at this. You take out 37.50, which you did, you go into 40, and then up in here, 47.50. This thing could go up 10 points, but it looks like it's going to pull back first. Gold, oil. Let's look at oil, because oil had a good day today, one of the first good days in a while. This is the 2-to-1 long crude. It's just holding here, but boy, this is wave 1, 2, 3. This doesn't look good for oil. Do you take out 26 to the downside? This thing is going lower, baby. And let's see, how much lower would it go? See, this is a bearish pattern. You're below the 50, you're trending down, you're on an ADXL, the volume spikes are red, which means selling, not buying. See, this is kind of a clue right in here. In early October, see this big volume spike? It was somebody selling out. So they sold out, huge volume, maybe a lot of people, and then the market makers rallied the thing back up. And then it went much lower. Then they rallied it up a little. In other words, the volume was telling us when people were getting up here on the large dark candles and the large volume, that is your message, clue, ADXL signal, get out of Dodge. You got to look at the charts on each one of your stocks. And review that chart every weekend, every night. You tell me when, but it depends on how much you want to focus and how much you want to be successful. But this is a sell signal on oil right here. And look at the volume. It told us, I'm going lower because, well, I broke the 50. I went on an ADX sell. I went on a MACD sell. And what happened? I went from 33 to 26.5 in a month. That's 20% down. So now it's trying to hold the 26. If it does, God bless America, price of oil is going up. But what's happened with the storm in the East Coast is demand for oil or gasoline has fallen dramatically because people can't get there. Ooh, Michael. Yes, I'm holding Boyle and NKA, both natural gas plays. Boyle, the ETF, and NKA, the income gas stocks, both are down about 10%. Yeah. I own some Boyle in my IRA. I actually have an IRA account, the Lead Trader account, where I'm trading for people who have retirement accounts, my IRA money. And again, whatever trade I make in my account, you get in your account. It's phenomenal. And then I have an aggressive growth account. And that's the Lead Trader program. But here's the deal. Boyle has come down hard. Why has it come down hard? This is 3-to-1, 2-to-1 long natural gas, because UNG has come down hard. And why has UNG come down hard? Because we have a surplus of natural gas. We got way too much natural gas, so demand is not as great as supply. What happens to price? Boom. That's what's happening in natural gas. I got excited when we got up in here thinking, man, natural gas is taking off. Then it peaked out. But I will tell you, this is, if it's up tomorrow, a buy signal. Because you came down to the 50-day moving average. You did a doji today. If tomorrow's up, and same thing with Boyle, Boyle's the exact same chart. If you're up, that's going to be good and bullish. But if you break these levels of support, you can head down to $40. So the 50-day, the 200-day got to be stopped. NKA, what's this? Natural gas utility. Ugh. Well, it did a hammer today at the 200, which is good. But the problem is you're below the 50. This tail tells me you're going to go in the opposite direction tomorrow. I would almost be a seller if it bounces. Just to get out of Dodge, reassess. You know, you're down 10%, maybe it bounces 4 or 5% tomorrow. Out you come. So I would hold the Boyle unless it breaks the 200. I would sell this one on any bounce and reallocate the money that you sell the stocks, reallocate the money to something that's in movement, that's doing well now. See, the idea is people don't like to sell things when they're down because they feel like, and I don't understand this, but they feel, I guess it's anchoring. They feel like they're going to miss the move up on that stock. But I believe that it's better to reallocate the money into something that's moving that you might make money now rather than hoping, wishing and hoping your other stocks are going to come back. It's like it's a bad strategy, and yet everyone does it. So anyway, I would clean up. And this is a bearish chart pattern. Sorry. You know? All right, let's go to some of the weekly watch list, because I also included some construction plays. I want to see how they did today. I know USG did good today, and that's one of my, I'm long a lot of USG. All right, HOV. This is Hovnanian. I think they come out with earnings tomorrow. Wow. Up 36 cents today, 508, up 7%, good volume. Hey, this thing can go more. Let me look at the weekly. You know what I was saying? If you take out 5 and it closed at 508, you can get up into here, 7.8. I think this is one to look at. The problem is, I don't know what's going to happen in the market with the president thing. But anyway, HOV is one I really like based on today's move. We could maybe get another 2 points. It's got to hold the 5 level, though. Okay, here's a trucker, ODFL. Wow, look at that. Oh, this is weekly, my bad. It was okay today. It looks like it's doing wave 2 kind of thing. Nice breakout. Look at your ADX. Look at the strength of trend. This thing has so much strength and power. So let's look at a weekly. That's really cool. And this is all-time record high. Look at that. It's a great chart pattern. And this is about, well, what happens if they have to truck everything to the East Coast? Supplies, gas, whatever. Are they going to use this company? Let's hope so. Here's another one, Joe. This is a real estate development company. St. Joe. The thing I liked about this was huge short interest, 40, 39.60. If this thing gets going, it's going to be a short squeeze, big time. We look at the weekly, and you got to take out the 200, but if you do, 28's your target, you're 22 here. So this Joe looks really good. And I got to tell you, I had a hard time finding good-looking patterns. Now, maybe after today, that might have changed because we had some good moves today. And by the way, I talked about this on the radio show. Apple might have bottomed today. I'm not sure. But this is a doji after a down move. Now, we had dojis before, and you bounced, but then you went lower. At some point, it's going to be the bottom, and we'll have a bottoming stick or pattern for Apple. This is what we call a bullish harami, where the body of today's candle is inside the body of the previous day's candle. And the previous day's candle is dark, closed, after a long downturn. If tomorrow is up, you will get a buy signal for Apple. That's a candlestick buy signal. But I'm not on a buy signal on here or here, so it could be a fake out too. But I'm looking for Apple to bottom. That's when I'm going to get excited and buy stocks. And it might be a big sell-off day where Apple goes all the way down and then rallies back, does this little big-time tail. That could be the bottom. We'll see. We'll see how it unfolds. Another stock that made the list, Yahoo. Man, if you look at this chart, this stock, oh man, up 26 cents today. Look, this thing looks really good. Look at your ADX going straight up. MACD might be a little overbought. Let's look at a weekly. So your target is up here, triple top at 19. And if you take out 19 on Yahoo, $22.50, maybe even $27.50. 10 points. Yahoo look good. Remember, if you guys have questions or crystal ball readings, just put them in the question box, and I will get to them as quickly as possible. All right, another stock that came on the list, Carb. This is Carbonite. They back up your computer stuff. The only reason I like this one is because I think it can go to 950. And you had this gap through the 50 on volume. So 8 to 950, 20%, not bad. Oh, and also big short interest, 34. GPRE, what's this? This is Green Plains Renewable Energy. Well, I love that name. Renewable energy. Another high short interest. This is a bottoming formation. We're in a wave 2. Wave 1 goes from 6 to 8. Wave 3 will go from 8 to 10. This one looks very good. The only negative is look at the volume. 109,000 shares. So it's too light. All right. Another stock. Oh, this is one of my favorites. IMH. This is a mortgage thing. I think there's going to be a lot of business done in the mortgage space. So look at this one. Up 44 cents today. I mean, it's a new all-time high, I'm sure. Look at this chart. Wow. So I got to figure out after the election. This is another one that I want to buy. IMH. We talked about HOV. Now it's IMH that I'm looking at. Okay. Again, the low volume. That's kind of a problem. Here's SCCO. This is a copper play. Brilliant chart pattern. I think this has the makings of like a $50 to $100 stock. I'm not kidding you. Southern Copper, this is the real deal. And at least it can go to 50. That's 12 points. And if you take out 37.50, which you've done on the weekly, you get up into here. So SCCO looks good, really good. And again, I'm not sure about this dividend yield, 28.5%. Wiz, with an open candle through the 50, does the length of time matter? Daily one? No. Well, here's the deal. Dave asked a really good question. If you get an open candle through the 50, if it shows up on a daily chart or a monthly chart or a 3-month chart or a 6-month chart, what's the difference? Well, first off, it's the same non-random pattern, which is a buy signal. Large open candle through the 50. However, if I'm on a daily chart, that means it's going to be in weeks. If I'm on a weekly chart, it means it's going to be in months. If I'm on a monthly chart, it means it's going to be in years. So you have to connect the length of time of chart you use versus your time frame of how long you want to hold. You know, I happen to believe that you can't be an investor anymore, so you've got to narrow your time frame or compress time frame. I use a 15-minute chart and the daily and the weekly. But really, my buys and sell signals come from the 15-minute chart because I'm not a long-term player. I don't want the stock to get crushed. So again, it's about the time frame that you're on. But the pattern, this is why we call it fractal. The system is fractal. It's in fractions. So the same pattern that is true on a daily chart is also true on a 15-minute chart. One of my favorite non-random patterns is large open candle through the 50. When I see that on the 1-minute chart, it means in the next minutes, it's a buy signal. And it should go up 20 to 30% or something. I don't know. I don't know what the percent is. But on the daily chart, I give it a month, 2 weeks to 2 months, 20 to 30%. Ann's got a question about the Ditto trade. You can't post returns because it's private. In other words, I have 2 trading accounts at Ditto Trade. Aggressive growth, margin, and an IRA, more conservative. Let's say you say to yourself, you know, Wiz, I've got $50,000 sitting over there with Uncle Joe, who's a stockbroker. He's not very good. And I need to make this money grow because when I'm older, I got to create income from this money. So I got to grow my principal. Okay. So I say, okay, well, I've got a program whose goal is 20 to 30% a year. So you say, wow, that's cool. So I have these two trading accounts at Ditto Trade. You open your account at Ditto Trade. You move your trading account from Scottrade and E-Trade to a different one called Ditto Trade. It's the same thing. $6.95 commissions per trade. Same thing. So let's say you move $50,000 to your trading account at Ditto Trade. And then you connect your account to my account, Aggressive Growth, let's say. So today, let's say I bought some USG on Friday, which I did, at $27. Because you have $50,000 in your trading account at Ditto Trade, we normally do a 20% position sizing. So whatever position size I do, you get. So let's say it's 20%. That means on every trade, you're going to put 20% of your bank, or $50,000 or $10,000 into a trade. So I buy USG. I'm sitting in front of the computer all day long. You could be out gardening. You could be out, having lunch and not even thinking about the market, because I am, and I'm sitting there. I'm trading your account essentially. So I buy USG in my account at $27. You automatically buy in your account $10,000 worth, or let's say 400 shares. So while you're at lunch, in your account, 400 shares show up. You don't have to do anything. I do everything, and it shows up in your account. Now, you can, be involved, the education-wise, or you can just allow me to trade my account. We started this August 11th. I'm up 11%. In a little less than 3 months, which annualizes out to 44%. But again, I don't want people to get hung up on the, I don't want you to get hung up on returns, because I would rather you know the process than the result. Because returns, next year the returns could be totally different. But it's the strategy, the process, that stands the test of time, that creates those returns. So I would rather you be knowledgeable on when we buy, when we sell, why, where's our stop, all that kind of stuff, so you feel comfortable in that education part, but knowing that, hey, this system looks like it could do well. I feel good about it. So, the return is 44% annualized, but I think it's more about the process. Is that good, Ann? Cool. All right, let me go back to the next one is, I love this one, Taser. The stun gun guys. Wow, it's doing a perfect wave 2. Look at this. When it takes out this high, I'm going to buy, and then it's going to fly. The high of 845, because this is in a wave 2. Wave 1 went from 650 to really 845. Wave 2 is here. You break out above 845, you're going to 1045. You got 2 points. And look at the weekly. You take out $8, you're going to 10 to 12 on Taser. This looks really, really good. Let's look at the ADX. Look at that. Woo, baby. Going straight up, the strength of trend. So this is one to keep an eye on as well. Taser. Okay. Another one, this is the company that makes the generators. And I don't know what you guys think about that. Whoa, a 4 1/4 today. Son of a beach. Oh, you know, I was going to buy this thing. This could be a huge rocket ship. Think about it. $10,000 generator that generates 20,000 watts. Do you think that's a retail product? Do you think in real estate people are going to want that to save their electricity? I think so. Why not? An extra 10 grand? Come on. I'd do it in a heartbeat. So this stock could go huge, but I was hoping it would pull back. It was a little extended. Wow, what a day. 4 1/4. It could go a lot higher. Another one, NTSP. This is NetSpeed. MACD looks good. ADX is a little, I need my strength to trend higher. It's the only problem. This one, 8 days of shorts. Why did I like this? Oh, because it was a new issue. And it can go all the way back to $16. There you go. Okay, another one is TREX. This is one of the construction stocks. Actually, I'll wait for that. And then here's the last, TBBK. This is a regional mid-Atlantic bank. Looks like it could go 9.5, 11.5, 11.5 to 13.5. But I don't like today's tail. And you know, we were talking about the financials didn't do that well today. Financials did, well, Wells Fargo's up 28 cents. What about the Citigroup? And then the pig of them all, Bank of America. Boy, when this thing breaks out, they're going to take it. It's going to go from 10 to 15. 50% on Bank of America coming up as soon as they like the financials again. Okay, let's do some construction plays. First, TREX. This isn't the Albanian gold mining company, although they made an announcement. Anyone in TIRXF, T-Rex, they made an announcement that the Turkish Jew who owns the mining, who's like worth $1 billion, is going to put up all the money to mine the property. That's incredible. Okay, here's TREX, General Building Materials. Look at this chart. Come on. This is like USG. They're going to have to rebuild the entire East Coast, at least New Jersey and New York. Look at this chart. You go up to your highs, you're at $50. TREX. Another one I love, and I'm really long this one, in all different accounts, USG. This one is going to go crazy to the upside. They make the sheetrock. Ann says Trex is a good product. Cool. USG makes the sheetrock. Come on. When you rebuild a house, you got to have sheetrock. This is a no-brainer. The question is, how long can I hold it? Another construction stock, MTZ. But I don't like. This is a Mastec. I don't like the tail and the tail, so forget this one. This means we're going to go down, baby. And this is a Chinese construction stock. I don't know. I mean, come on. But anyway, it's $3.67. It takes out this stuff here. Maybe it gets up to $4.50 a point. But you don't trust those Chinese. And then the last one is TPC. Had a good day today. Look at this large. The reason I like this one, large open candle through the 50. This is what we dream about. So what happens here is the odds are, if this stock does not violate the 50 to the downside, the odds are over the next 2 weeks to 2 months, it will be up another 20%, 20 to 30%. From 11 to 13. Well, look at this. It's already up 20 to 30%. But sometimes they do much more. Hey, Wiz, what do you think about Silver Wheaton? Well, you know, they had earnings today, and they missed slightly, and the stock kind of hung in. It was only down 51 cents. I think it's okay. As long as it stays above the 50, it's just in a consolidation. You know, I've been shorting silver, SLV, and this is on a big sell signal. So I'm thinking the price of silver goes down, therefore it's going to be tough for these silver stocks. CDE is probably my favorite pattern. This one looks like it has huge upside when it finishes selling off. So Silver Wheaton I like as well, but I don't like the bad earnings. RWT, what's this? This is Redwood Trust. This is good, 6.5%. Nice little pattern. This is perfect. If you want income, what a great chart. Great chart. This is beautiful, Charles, or Chaz. Mark, what do you think of ARMH? There was a big spike at the end of the day. ARMH. I don't like the tail. What is this? Semiconductor. Boy. Beautiful ADX, beautiful. And the reason I say that, strength of trend, the yellow line is really, really strong. This one has a lot of potential, Look at this. This is huge. It's been in a consolidation for maybe a year or so, more than a year, and now it's breaking out. What, are you kidding me? You think that's a coincidence? No. This stock's going a lot higher. The problem is this tail here. Although it had a tail here and it went up the next day. But I'd be careful. I'd buy it on a pullback though. For sure. For sure. All right, let me get to a couple of these income and growth plays. We just did one that I don't even have them on my list, but I should have. RWT, Redwood Trust. Pays 6.5%. It's sitting at highs. Can't get any better than that. Another one is CTB. This is Cooper Tire. I'm looking at the chart pattern like, whoa, gap through the 50. Now it's consolidating. When it only pays 2%, but if it takes out a certain number, 27, and then look out. Yeah, take out 27.50, it's going to go crazy. But this is more of a capital gains play than an income play. And I don't want to get really large income. You know, NLY, those stocks got crushed because the income was too high. The yield was too high. The higher the yield, the higher the risk. Okay, here's RAS. This one's in a wave 2, beautiful, pays 6.5%. This is just like that RWT. I love this. You're going to get a lot of growth here. You get through the 200. You get up to 7 and then 8. Meanwhile, you're getting 6.5% while you wait. I'm a poet and I don't know it. Okay, another one is KFN. This is, I think, the real estate. KFN. Of this is the largest hedge fund in the world or something. Their KKR, their mortgage investment portfolio. Whoops, gap down today. But look at this. Every time it gaps down, it does these little tails, and then what does it do? Boom. 8%. What's interesting is a lot of these mortgage companies with good yields have large short interest. A lot of people shorting them. So that's curious. Why are they shorting them? We could get short squeeze here. Another income play, the HLSS. This is one that I had before. I really like this, but it looks like it's tracing out an M. Don't let it break this level here. So we got a MACD sell. This one looks like it's rolling over. Stay away from this one. Income. MANT. What's this? Mantech Software pays 3.5%, but look at these tails. It's got to pull back, and it's got to hold halfway down this candle. Then it could be really cool. You can take this thing up to 32.50 and then 37.50. But it looks like it's going to pull back first. Now I'm kind of waiting for the market to sell off. One big down day or a big sell-off day, and then I'm going to get long. I mean, more long. The last income play and growth, Credit Suisse. I love this company, love the stock. Of course, my daughter is a lobbyist for them. Anyway, pays 3.5% dividend. It's Switzerland. Long term, this is in a beautiful downtrend. But it broke the downtrend, and you can see it move to $30 before we're through. 7 points, 30%. Credit Suisse. And those Swiss are good. Even though HSBC laid off 30,000 people. Okay. Terrence wants to see about PCYC. You know, this thing is so broken down. Now, it did a hammer today, but it's going to end up down here. I mean, huge volume day, down and rallied back, but it's going to end up down here at the 200. When you break the 50, by the way, this was a sell signal right here. ADX goes on a sell, MACD goes on the sell. We go sideways, down again. We'll go sideways, down again. So, you know, if you're trading this one, if it bounces tomorrow, adios amigos. But this is a very bearish pattern. And, you know, like 3 weeks ago, I said sell all the biotechs because for some reason the patterns were looking iffy and the biotechs have gotten killed. Look at Vivus. Can you believe this? $14.95? We were playing it up in here. From here to here. $14.95. Wow. Down 50%. All right, let me just get to a couple. I think gold and silver on sell signals, so I like buying the DUST, D-U-S-T, 3-to-1 bear gold miners, 3-to-1 short gold miners. Here's something that's interesting. Beautiful candle through the 50, ADX on a buy. The problem is your strength of trend is low. It needs to turn up, but this could be a buy signal. And gold was up today. That was weird. So DUST is 3-to-1 short gold miners, and then the 3-to-1 short the SLV is the D, SLV. And I don't know. Looked to me like this thing's going up to 32.50. At least 30. So I think we got 4 or 5 points to go here. Especially if silver goes down. And look at this. Strength of trend is moving up. I think we're going to make a lot of money on this DSLV. Terrence said AFI did well. AFI's one of the few that held up. But even AFI, you know, 27, 23, yeah, it held up pretty good. Low volume. AFI has held up well. Don wants to look at NXTN. Medical appliances. Don, let me ask you a question. What is your interest in this? This is a doji This is in a huge downtrend. Look at this. I think it's going lower until it stops. Now look, we had a doji here in late August, and you got a rally. You have a doji here. We've had a bunch of dojis. So maybe it wants to bottom, but you know, this is not good for the bears when your ADX red line crosses. Looks like your MACD is starting to turn up. I mean, I would never, you know, new lows beget new lows until they don't. So I don't know. I would not be in this stock. What else? Oh, you know what I wanted to say? If you want to invest in silver long term, check out SIVR. Now, I don't think it should be bought yet until it gets above the 50. But SIVR is very interesting. It's an ETF backed by the actual physical silver in a vault in Switzerland. So someone asked me, do you have to go to Switzerland to get your money? No, you just sell it. But that's kind of cool for long-term players. If you're worried about the SLV and what it really is, this SIVR, $30.86, and actually this might track the price of silver. Where did silver close today? Oh, you made some money a long time ago, do not have any now, just curious about the dialysis area. Well, I think that chart pattern is terrible. Maybe Medicare doesn't pay for it and Obamacare doesn't pay for it. I don't know. What is going on here? You know what I hate? I hate when they have all these different flash things. So it takes an hour to load up. Silver, 31.16. And this thing closed at 30.86. It's close. All right, so basically I feel like the market can still go lower. I think the S&P is not out of the woods yet until we get back above the 50. I think we're going down to the 200, but we did a nice little hammer today, which could mean we'll bounce tomorrow in front of the election. I think the market's going to sell off after the election. Everyone says it's going to rally because the uncertainty is behind us. What uncertainty behind us? Congress is going to hate Obama. Anyway. So my suggestion is, if you're going to be long, like I am in different accounts, you have to have your hedge. Now I've got a couple. I was thinking about buying the UVXY today. It was really, but I want to wait for the market to rally, kind of a fake rally. But this is going to go down, and the market's going to rally tomorrow. But I got to figure out a hedge. So I want to be long and have a hedge. Or if you're not like that, you should just be in cash. You know, going into tomorrow and Wednesday. All right? Any other questions? Any other crystal ball readings you would like? Let's look at the transportation average. Dow Jones transportation. You know, if you look at a weekly on the Dow Jones transportation, this is really a cup handle, long handle, but this isn't bearish. This is actually bullish. Oh, Susie wants to look at UNG. You know, the problem with UNG is we are awash with natural gas. So the law of economics, the bigger supply, the less demand, price goes down. So prices are really low. And that's the problem for UNG. Now, it did a doji today at the 50 after a down move, and it's also a bullish harami. Well, it would be if it's up tomorrow. So for me, UNG, if it breaks the 50, you got to sell it. But this doji could indicate change in sentiment, loss in momentum, turnaround. But if it breaks the 50, you got to sell. Crystal ball on cores, I know that one. I was in this a while ago. Should get back into it, right? Cores, Look, wave 1 goes from 42 to, let's say, 56. 14 points. You go from 56 to 70. Mark my words. Beautiful weekly chart because it's a new issue. Came out last year. This thing takes out this 58 right up in here. You got to buy it. Because this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. If it takes it out. The other one, KBALB, can't have 5 letters. Yeah, you can. Key electronic printed circuit boards. Well, first off, it only trades 141,000 shares. That's a problem. The chart is great. Look, it did a hammer at the 50. Next day's up. That's a buy signal. Your ADX is trying to go on a buy signal. The problem is you've been in this. It's rolling. The strength of trend. Got to turn it around. MACD went on a buy. If you take out $13, you can go to 15 3/4 and then 20. But the problem is printed circuit boards are like a commodity business. But if it takes out 8 to 13, it's a breakout. It wants to go. I would wait for that. Any more? Hey, if you guys are interested in the lead trader, just email me, wizard@winningonwallstreet.com, or you can call us, 303-442-6075. All right, have a great night. Love you guys. See you tomorrow in the morning. And don't forget, listen to Business for Breakfast. Thanks.